Okay, here we go with number 12. Here they tell you the midpoint, and then they give you a point. You could graph this if you wanted to. You could find the difference from one side to the other. So there's a few ways you could do this, but I'm going to show you mathematically how to. Your midpoint is at 2, 1. So we have our midpoint is at 2, 1. And then our regular point, C is what they call it, is at 6, 8. And we're looking for D. We don't know what that is. So your formula says this. M of x, your midpoint of x is x1 plus x2 divided by 2. X2 divided by 2, and then there's a comma there because we need to know our y as well. So I'm going to come down here and write my y part. My equals y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So this is going to be a point, right? We need to fill in what we know. We know my m of x is 2. So this guy is 2 equals, I know one of my x's is 6. I don't know my other x, okay? All divided by 2. Then here's my y, right? Because you guys know it goes x comma y. So 1 equals my y is 8 plus, I don't know my other y, divided by 2. So there's your two formulas, and you want to cross multiply and solve. Well, how that works is 2 times 2, that's 4, right? So we get 4 equals 6 plus 8, or 6 plus x, excuse me. We want to subtract 6. So 4 minus 6 is negative 2. That's my x value. So that means I can eliminate these guys. My y value is right here. 2 times 1, that's 2 equals 8 plus y. Subtract your 8. 2 minus 8 is negative 6 equals y. Well, G's my answer. Okay. Now, 13, we're talking about a guy and his job. So this is very important for you people. All right. He is making $15 an hour. $15, right? That's when he's working 40 hours a week. If he works more than 40 hours a week, he gets paid overtime. So we want to do 15 times 40. We need to figure out how much he's going to get paid in overtime, right? But if they tell you it's 1.5 times as much, you have to do 15 times 1.5. So he is making $22.50 an hour in overtime. So this is your regular. This will be overtime, right? Well, how many hours of overtime did he work? Well, if he worked 40 hours a week, or 46 hours in the week, but 40 counts to your regular, then that means there's 6 hours of overtime, right? So we want to do 15 times 40, which is 600. So he made 600. And then we want to do 22.5. Hey, that's the overtime pay. That's nice. Times 6, which is 135. So we need to add these two guys together. So within that week, he made $735. But we're not done. Make sure you read everything because it tells you that, hey, 117 is being deducted. There goes your state and federal taxes, right? So we want to subtract from 735, 117, because somebody's taking that away from us, and we get 618. Okay, this one, I'm going to zoom in. It's kind of hard to see for me. So this person's buying bags of grapes, right? And they want to see what the difference is between these two. So pause this, read it, and then you can come back and join me. So 2 trips. This person went Monday and bought 3 bags on Monday, and then she bought 4 bags on Wednesday, right? So there's round 1. Round 2 is what happens if she would have bought just 7 bags in one trip altogether. So let's see what the difference is between these two pieces here. Difference means subtract. So just tell yourself that somewhere down the line, we are going to be subtracting. Well, 3 bags cost $3 per bag. Okay. 4 bags cost $2.80 per bag, right? And then 7 bags cost $2.60 per bag. So let's see. What did she spend when she went there, right? So $3 per bag, hopefully you're telling yourself, is a total of $9, right? And then we need to see 4 bags, how much did that cost her that day, right? Was $11.20. So she spent $9 on Monday, and then she spent $11.20 on Wednesday. So she spent a total of $20.20. Now, what if she would have, that's what this problem says, went on Monday and bought all 7 bags? We need to do $2.60 times 7, and she would have spent that day $18.20, right? So $20.20 minus $18.20 gives you $2, and that's how much she saved, or would have saved, if she would have done it from the very beginning. Okay, number 15. What is 3% of 4.14? So 4 1400 times 10 to the power of 4. Well, you guys need to understand this just means you're going to move the to your decimal placeholders, 4 units. I think I said that wrong. You want to move the decimal 4 times, right? So to the right. Okay, so we have 4.14, and I'm going to put some zeros in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my number. But then you have to take 3% because it's saying, hey, we want to multiply this new number that you wrote out and multiply it by 0.03 because you want to turn 3% into a decimal, which means you move it left, right? So your calculator, you could literally type all of this in on your calculator too if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to type this number in, 0.03, and you get 1,242, which is A. Okay, here we have a triangle. It's a right triangle, and they want you to find sine of A. So you have A is right here. You guys need to know sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, this is the adjacent leg, if you need to know. Opposite is always right across from the angle. Hypotenuse is always right across from the 90-degree angle. And adjacent always touches your degree that you're referring to. So what is sine of A? Well, sine of A is 7 over 9. Opposite over hypotenuse. SOHCAHTOA. Sine, opposite, hypotenuse, cosine, adjacent, hypotenuse, tangent, opposite, adjacent. If you have no idea what this is, you might check out some basic trigonometry videos or ask your math instructor. This one, you guys, again, this is calculator work. If you really had to, you could type it all in on your calculator and get your answer, which is typically what you guys do anyway. So, oh well, I just tried to do that and it does not work. I lied. It does work. That's because I typed in the number wrong. But what you need to understand is this is power. This is your root. So technically what you're saying is it's 2 to the power of this, and then you cubed root it. But for the sake of time, we have 16 over 9. The negative means this becomes 64. This becomes 27, right? So power over root, and then your signs would change. So I don't really want to go into detail when your calculator will do it for you. 19 is begins his backdoor walk. Okay, so he walks east. So here's his back door, and he walks east. So 8. And then he walks 6. And then he walks east again, 12. And then he walks north again, 5. So north goes up, east goes right. Okay. About how many yards less would he walk if he could walk directly from the back door to the barn door? So if he could walk this whole thing right there, okay, how many yards less would it have taken him instead of walking all of this? Well, you guys, hopefully you see there's a right triangle being drawn right here, okay? Now, 8 plus 12, that's a total of 20. So I'm going to come over here and redraw a triangle. So this full length he walked going east was 20 yards. He walked north a total of 11. You have to do the Pythagorean Theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. C is always right across from the 90-degree angle, and that's the full length from the house to the barn. Okay, so I wrote some things down. 20, that's A, so A squared. 11 is B squared. We're looking for C. So when you do that, you get 400 plus 121 equals C squared. And then add those together, you get 521 equals C squared. Well, how you get C squared is you have to square root it. You need to use your calculator. So the square root of 521. Now, this is not going to be a perfect number, which is completely okay. But we get 22.825. That's what I'm going to write down. You could literally leave it on your calculator and reference back to it, okay? So that's the distance here, but that's not what it's asking. It's wanting us to know how many yards less, right? So there's a difference factor here. So what was the total length that Lodo did when he first walked this? He went 8 plus 6 plus 12 plus 5, right? So he walked 31 yards. So we have 31 yards, and then we need to subtract it by what this total thing would be. Oh, wait, how many yards left? Yeah. And then we want to do the 20. Let's just do 23, round up, since all of our answers are nice and pretty. So we want to do 31 minus 23, and that equals 8. He would have saved himself 8 yards. I don't know if that's a big deal to you, but that could be a difference to somebody or not. Okay. And let's do one more, and then I'll have to make another video. So here, you have 60 degrees right here. Okay, so that means arc AB is 60. Here you know that this is a right angle, so that means arc DC is 90. Arc AB is 60. That also means that this guy is going to be 90 because a semicircle is 180 degrees, right? So that's a semicircle. This is a semicircle, right? So we could figure out this arc AD, which 180 minus 60 is 120. So those are our degrees. Now let's see. Which of the following does not appear in the figure? All right. Acute triangle. That means that there are angles less than 90 degrees shown. So we do have an acute triangle. That is this guy. Equilateral triangle. Well, this is also an equilateral triangle because an equilateral triangle has all sides and all angles that are equal. 60, 60, and 60. How I know that those are all equal is because this is a radius and this is a radius. Therefore, those are equal. This is equal to this is equal to this, and that's equal. They're all radii are congruent in a triangle. This is an isosceles triangle. This is an isosceles right triangle. Okay, scalene triangle. So it looks like our answer is E. Scalene means it's nothing, sides or angles are similar at all. Okay, I have like 3 seconds left, so that will be it for this video.